What if the hardest goodbye is the one that never ends? That's what I've come to realize. Hi, I'm Rick Henkin. My wife Sonia was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in January 2020 at the age of 65. I've seen too many caregivers suffer physically, emotionally, and mentally, oftentimes more than the loved ones they care for. I was determined not to let this disease take me down, and I found a way to cope. Now I help other caregivers do the same. People think grief comes after death, but I've learned it often comes before, long before the end. I've been grieving for years now, even though Sonia is still here. It's a quiet, aching grief, the kind that doesn't come with funeral flowers or sympathy cards. No one shows up with casseroles when your wife forgets who you are. But that's exactly when the grief started for me. I still remember the moment it hit. We were sitting on the couch, something we'd done 1,000 times. I told her a story from our early years together, a funny one, the kind that usually made her laugh and roll her eyes. But this time, nothing. She looked at me like a stranger. The light in her eyes didn't flicker, no smile, no recognition, just silence. And right there, something inside me broke. That was the day I understood that you can grieve someone who's still breathing. That loss doesn't wait for death. It shows up in small, cruel moments when your loved one forgets your name, stops asking about your day, or can't remember the story of your life together. Sonia is physically here, but in so many ways, she's slowly slipping away, and I've had to learn how to love her, mourn her, and care for her all at the same time. This kind of grief has a name, ambiguous loss. And it's one of the most painful experiences a caregiver can face. You lose the person in pieces. One day they forget the dog's name. Another day they can't follow a conversation. Then one morning they wake up and don't know where they are or who you are. Each moment chips away at the life you built together. Each moment carries its own kind of funeral. The hardest part? There's no closure, no final goodbye, just 1,000 tiny losses and the guilt of mourning someone who's still alive. Sometimes I feel selfish for crying. Sometimes I feel guilty that I still want a normal moment, a shared laugh, a hug that feels familiar, a simple I love you spoken with full awareness. Other times I'm angry at the disease, angry at time, angry at how invisible this grief is. And then the shame rolls in. Because how can I be angry at someone who's sick, who's not doing this on purpose? The emotional back and forth is exhausting and it can be incredibly isolating. But I've come to understand this. It's not wrong to feel grief before someone dies. It's human. I had to stop pretending I was okay just because Sonia was technically still here. I had to stop hiding my pain behind a mask of strength, because real strength, I've learned, is letting yourself feel it, letting yourself break a little, letting yourself grieve, and most importantly, letting yourself find support. That's why I built my Caregiver Mastery System, because I needed tools, I needed structure, I needed a way to survive, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. I was tired of pretending I could do it all on my own. I couldn't, and you shouldn't have to either. If you're going through this now, if you're loving someone who's slowly disappearing, please hear me. You're not alone. You're not broken for grieving. You're not selfish for wanting your person back. And you're not weak for needing help. What helped me begin to heal was simple, but not easy. I created small daily rituals that gave me moments of calm. I learned to forgive myself for feeling sad, angry, or exhausted. And I reminded myself over and over that my grief was real, that my pain deserved acknowledgement, and that even in this mess, I still had a purpose. That purpose is to love Sonia as she is now, to meet her where she is, even if where she is today looks nothing like yesterday, and to honor her memory, even as that memory fades for her. There's still joy to be found in the present. I see it in her smile when she hears music she recognizes. I feel it in her hand resting in mine, even if she doesn't know who I am in the moment. Those are the pieces I hold on to, and I hold on to myself too, because I've learned that I matter in this story, not just as a caregiver, but as a human being with needs, with dreams, with grief, and with resilience. Before I wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced this kind of grief before your loved one is actually gone? What helped you cope, or what are you still struggling with? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and we're stronger when we share. If you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or like you're losing yourself in caregiving, you're not alone. That's exactly why I created the Caregiver Mastery System, a step-by-step emotional roadmap to help you manage stress, anger, and burnout so you can care for your loved one without sacrificing yourself in the process. Inside, you'll discover how to say yes to yourself without guilt, reduce overwhelm, and reclaim peace, even in the hardest moments. I call this Heaven Island, a place of calm and clarity where you can show up for the loved one you love without losing who you are. And just so you know, this isn't some time-consuming program. I didn't create it to add more to your plate. I built it to take the weight off your shoulders. The lessons are short, practical, and easy to follow. And if you apply what I teach, even for just a few minutes a day, I guarantee you'll start to feel a real difference in 2 to 3 weeks. Click the link below or visit caregivermasterysystem.com to get started today. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. I post new caregiver support videos every Monday and Thursday, and if this message spoke to you, use the hashtag #CaregiverMastery so others can find the support they need too. You're not alone. Let's go through this together.